This is the exact 5-step process that I use to build a six-figure web design business, and it's known as the Rule of Five Ones. And in my opinion, it is the easiest, quickest, and most efficient way to start a web design business. Let's go ahead and jump into the whiteboard and show you the Rule of Five Ones. So, the first rule for starting a web design business is to pick one target market, aka pick a niche. Let's go ahead and highlight that. And I recommend picking a target market when you're starting your web design business because it's going to help you with two things. First, it's going to help you with marketing. And secondly, it's going to help you with the delivery of your service. Delivery. And so, from a marketing perspective, marketing is way more effective when you speak directly to an audience. Let's go ahead and give an example. Pretend that you are a dentist and you see two ads on the internet. Ad number one here on the left hand side, and ad number two here on the right hand side. Let's pretend that ad number one says, I build websites. So I build websites. And now ad number two here on the right hand side says, I build websites for dentists. A lot of you already see it right away, but pretend you are a dentist. Which ad will resonate most with you? Obviously, ad number two because it's speaking directly to you. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see new web designers make when they start their web design business is that they try to speak and market to everyone. But there's an old adage, when you try to speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one. So go ahead and pick a target market because it's going to help you with your marketing. And not only is web design or picking a target market going to help you with your marketing, but it's also going to help you with the delivery of your service. And the example that I like giving with this is Subway. So pretend that you work at Subway and a customer walks through the door, orders a sandwich, you make it for them, give it to them, and they walk on out. Probably took you a little bit to make that sandwich. But now imagine the customer walks through the door the second day and orders the exact same sandwich. It's going to be way easier for you to make the sandwich because you've already made it before. And the same concept applies with web design. Once you make a website for a certain type of customer, it's going to be even easier to make another website for that same type of customer. So say you have a dentist as a web design client. Once you build that website, the next time that you get another dentist as a web design client, it's going to be way even easier to deliver that service. And I already think business is hard enough, so anything that I could do to make my business easier on me is something I'm going to do. So pick a target market because it's going to help with your marketing and it's going to help with the delivery of your service. Now, I love defaulting to Azure, so what I actually want you to do is I want you to pick a target market or your niche right now while you're watching this video. So my recommendation is to target some sort of local service-based business. And if you can't think of one, I'm actually going to give you 5 niches that you could target right now. So let's go ahead and go through this list. So these are 5 niches that I think you could target that I think would be a good target to go after for your web design business. So number one is window cleaning. So window cleaning businesses. Number two is auto detailing businesses. Auto detailing. Number three is junk removal businesses. Number four is painters. And number five is photo booth businesses. And I share this right now because another mistake that I see a lot of web designers make is that they spend a lot of time researching how to start a web design business as opposed to actually going out there and starting a business. And so I don't want anything to stop you. And again, I'm serious. Go ahead and pick a target market right now before we move on to step number two. Those were 5 target markets that you could go ahead and pick from so you don't have to make the decision on your own. Perfect. So now rule number one was pick one target market. Let's go on to rule number two of the rule of 5 ones. So rule number two is to have one core offer. Cool. So another mistake that web designers make when they first start their web design business is that they all want to offer 1,001 different services. And so they have their main service of web design, but they're also super excited. So they're like, I want to offer logo design and I want to offer SEO and Google ads and Facebook ads. And all of those are great services and you may offer them later down the road. But when you're first starting, I love making things easy and I love being focused. So I recommend picking one core offer to sell and just sell that to all of your customers. And so let me go ahead and give an example of the core offer that I made that I still offer to this day in my web design business. So I'll go ahead and make this one blue. And the core offer that I deliver is a one-page templatized And I don't even think that's a real word, but that's okay. A one-page templatized website. And the one-page templatized website came with 7 sections on it. So 7 sections. And those 7 sections were a hero section, an about section, a review section, a process section, pricing section, an FAQ section, and a contact section. So one page website with those 7 sections, and I also included a CRM integration with it. So CRM integration. And that was my core offer. And a lot of people really love this offer because something that I figured out once I started delivering this is that I could deliver this offer super quickly. And so this, I really think the main thing that I was selling to clients was speed. And so clients will come to me, I would pitch them on my service and I let them know, hey, I'm going to build you a one-page website with all of the information that you need. I'm going to go ahead and jump on a Zoom call with you, or you're going to connect your CRM to the website so that you can start collecting leads. And we're going to do all this within a week. So you're going to have your website up and running super quickly. And I feel like people really love that. And I focused on the speed when I was delivering this service because when I started my web design business, I noticed a lot of web designers would take a few weeks or even a couple of months to deliver a website. And so I thought this was a good differentiator for me to deliver something super quickly. And customers absolutely love this. And I think they loved it because the quicker that we got their website up and running, the quicker that they could start marketing their business and the quicker that they could start making money. So this was the exact offer and still is the offer that I do for a lot of my web design clients. And so going back to step number 1, I recommend picking a niche or a target market and then put together some sort of core offer that you could offer over and over again. And this is a good example of something that I still offer to this day that you could replicate for yourself. Cool. So let's jump over to number 3, rule number 3. Oh, let's go back to this color. So rule number 3 of the rule of 5 ones is to have one conversion strategy. So one conversion strategy. And so this is one way that you're going to turn your leads into paying customers. And there's 2 methods that I use to do this, and one of them super popular in the web design world. And the first method is to have a strategy session. And so this is where you jump on a one-on-one Zoom call with the clients, kind of giving them information about how they could improve their business or improve their website, and you pitch your services on the strategy call. So that's method number 1. The second method that I use is webinars. So webinars. And for those who aren't familiar with that, basically I'm jumping on a Zoom call with a bunch of people and I'm giving a free training, offering some sort of value. And at the end of that free training, I'm pitching my web design services. And webinars, if anything, are one of the things that help me grow my business super quickly. And so I highly recommend them. But both of those are really good strategies for turning your leads into customers. So pick one of those conversion strategies to use to turn those leads into your customers. Perfect. And so now let's jump into rule number 4, which is to have one traffic source. Let's highlight that. Cool. So in rule number 3, we talked about the conversion strategies, how you're actually going to turn a lead into a customer. But of course, you need a way to get leads, and that's where your traffic source comes into place. And to this day, my favorite way to generate leads or traffic to my business is through Facebook ads. So let's go Facebook ads. And specifically, there are 3 types of Facebook ads that I recommend all web designers use in their business. Let's go ahead and make this red. So the first one that I recommend is having a lead funnel ad. And let's go ahead and walk through how this works. So it starts off over here with Facebook ad. So FB. The Facebook ad leads to a landing page where you offer a lead magnet. And for those who don't know what a lead magnet is, it's really just a freebie that you're giving out in exchange for someone's contact information, turning them into a lead. And so the best lead magnets that I've ever done are some sort of PDF or ebook where I'm teaching businesses how to get more clients because there's no business out there that doesn't want more clients. So kind of going back to the top, say we pick a niche. Let's go ahead and pretend we picked photo booth businesses. What I would do is create some sort of PDF here teaching photo booth businesses how to get more clients and offer that as the lead magnet here in this step. So after they download the lead magnet and you capture them as a lead, what you want to do is send them to a thank you page where you invite them to book a strategy call. And so I usually have my calendar on here using a software like Calendly or TidyCal, super popular. So calendar, and I usually have a video up above it where I introduce myself, thank them for downloading the lead magnet, and letting them know that they could book a free strategy call where I'll walk them through additional information for them to grow their business. So I'm going to use that right there. And now a certain percentage of people won't actually book a strategy call here at this step. In fact, I actually think most people won't book a strategy call in this step. So this is why this next part is super important. Here, once they capture or once they download the lead magnet and they turn into a lead, what you want to do is send them an email follow-up sequence. And for me, this is usually about 5 emails long. And so the first 3 or 4 emails to me are pure value. So I'm going to circle these, value. And this is me just providing additional information related to the lead magnet that they just got. So again, in this example, say I have some sort of lead magnet teaching them strategies of how to grow their business or how to get clients. The first 3 or 4 emails in my email sequence are additional information on how to get more clients. And so a bunch of value. And then over here, let's make this color. The final email is sending them back to book a strategy call, aka sending them back to this page over here. And I'll say all my strategies calls, a lot of them come from this final email. And it makes sense because they just received a bunch of other emails from me providing a lot of value. So they see, that I'm kind of legit, and they end up booking a strategy call here from this email. So super important to have that follow-up funnel because most people won't book over here in this step right away. And so you need some sort of nurture sequence for them. And so I send these email out one a day for the next 5 days or so after they capture the lead magnet. And then after that sequence, I go over here and I usually send out one email a week to them. And these are what I call kind of like my top of mind emails. So top of mind. And really what they're for, kind of like it says, is just to keep me top of mind because some people won't book the strategy call here. Some people won't book the strategy call here. And so I want to continue sending them email just to stay top of mind because they may not be ready to buy a website right now. They may not be ready to buy a website next week or next month or next year, but at some point they might be ready to buy a website. And I want to be that person who's on top of mind whenever it is that they are ready to buy that website. So I send out weekly emails after the initial sequence there. So that's how the lead funnel works. And that's the first type of Facebook ad that I recommend to generate traffic to your business. Let's talk about the second type of ad. So over here is a webinar funnel ad. So I talked about webinar funnels already where you jump on a training or you give a training to an audience and then at the end of the training you pitch your services. So this is how the webinar funnel looks. Again, it begins with Facebook. You send them to a landing page. Here they opt in to a free training. And similar to the lead magnets, my free trainings are usually on the topics of how to get more clients because, again, everyone wants to know how to get more clients. So it usually works super well. And so after they opt in a few days later, I give a training via Zoom. And my trainings are usually between 60 to 90 minutes long. And the way that I do the trainings is that for the majority of it, it's just me providing value with the training. So that's about 40 to 45 minutes of it. Afterwards, I usually pitch my services where I'm telling them, hey, if you're interested in getting a website, I'm happy to help you out. Feel free to jump on a strategy call with me. So this pitch, I'm giving them some sort of link verbally and on the screen to a strategy call where I could close them. And then after the pitch, I usually like having Q&A session where I just open it up. So anyone who has any questions, they could ask them and I'm happy to answer them as well. And so that's the webinar funnel. And the only thing that I'll add to that is the email sequence that we talked about earlier. So this whole part up here, I would recommend adding a similar email sequence to the back end of this webinar funnel as well. Because again, some people won't, get on a strategy call or get your services right away. So again, you want to follow up and nurture the leads that you are getting and, get them onto a strategy call. So that is how the webinar funnel works. And the third type of Facebook ad that I recommend getting traffic for your web design business is going to be a retargeting ad. And these are super simple ads. So these are just retargeting people who've already visited pages on my website. And again, keeping top of mind. So the way that these work someone sees a page on my website, and as a result of seeing a page on my website, I show them another Facebook ad. Again, staying top of mind. Because again, not everyone's ready to buy it right away, but whenever they are ready, I want to be that web designer that they think of. So retargeting ads are super important for that reason. So again, you need one traffic source. I recommend Facebook ads because they work super quickly. And the three types of ads that I'll run are a lead funnel ad, a webinar funnel ad, and a retargeting ad. Cool. So let's go ahead and go over number 5. So rule number 5 is probably the most difficult rule of all in the rule of 5 ones, and it is to commit to this process for 1 year. So commit for 1 year. Business is a lot like exercising in that those who are disciplined and commit for a long period of time are the ones who are going to see the most success. And kind of like exercises, there are a lot of things that come in the way of starting a business. You know, you could get distracted or you could get discouraged along the way and you end up quitting. And I feel like that is the number one reason that most web designers don't succeed is that they just quit too early. So I'm going to put here in blue 2 words: don't quit. You now have a process to start your web design business utilizing these rule of 5 ones. So I want you to pick that niche. I want you to pick, let's go through here. I want you to pick the target market. I want you to pick one core offer to offer to them. I want you to pick one conversion strategy. I want you to pick one traffic source. And I want you to commit to it for 1 year. And that'll be the process for you to grow your web design business. Now, if you have any additional questions of starting or growing your web design business, feel free to shoot me a text message at 714 312 3376. I'll go ahead and write that down here. That's 714 312 3376, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. My name is Fernando. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.